Good afternoon. This is Betty Shan. I know it's been a mighty long time and people's beginning to wonder what happened to me. Well, let me tell you the story, a little bit about the story. Uh, Everything was going along smoothly here, and you think you've got your life plan down to uh, where it's going to be just perfect all the time, and then something else will happen. Well, uh, we had our youngest daughter that we adopted was had moved to Oklahoma, and we got a phone call one afternoon that she had been in an accident. She had went and bought herself one of those motorized bicycles, and she was riding it back and forth to work. Her job was just outside of Ardmore, and she was driving that motorized bicycle back and forth to work like several of the other kids were. And it was a 23-minute ride, but in that 23 minutes, she ended up in a bar ditch. Now, we don't know if somebody run her off the road or whether she hit a bump and went off the road. But they said she laid there for 4 hours. And anyway, they called us and told us that she had some major injuries to her head and that they were going to airlift her to Oklahoma City. Well, of course, we got ready and we took off, and before we could ever leave, they had got a hold of us again and told us that she had such trauma to her head that they was going to send her to Denton, Texas, where they had a brain trauma center. So we ended up going to Ardmore. We stayed a few days there, and it wasn't Ardmore. We went to Denton, then we took her back to Ardmore, and they dismissed her in our care and told us not to leave her by herself. So no other thing we could do except go get some of her things and bring her home. So we went and picked up her things and we brought her home, and she stayed with us for over 2 weeks. And then we she wanted to go back so she could go to work. So we loaded her up. We took her back to Ardmore, and uh, we got her there and was getting ready to leave, and she went to crying that she wanted to come home. So we loaded up what stuff of hers we could get in our vehicle, and we drove back to Carlsbad, and she's been here ever since. Now we've still got to make one more trip to Ardmore to pick up some of her stuff, but that'll probably be around Thanksgiving time because my daughter don't need to take off a lot more work to go pick her things up, and we'll take the old truck and we'll go see if we can get her things and get her moved back here. But I felt like I owed y'all an exclamation. It wasn't that I wanted to quit. It was just that things in my life made a swift change. And I got to thinking about, yeah, that's the way it is when you live a Christian life. You think everything's going to go rosy and you think everything's going to go smooth, and then all of a sudden you're through a curve, and you've got to be able to bend and bow with them curves. Whatever God wants you to do is what you've got to do. And sometimes we don't understand it, but that's the way life is. We have to do what we know to do. And I don't want to make this video very long. I intend on getting back with it and doing some cooking shows, and I hope I haven't lost everybody out to this, but if I have, we'll start again. But I want you to keep your chin up, live for the Lord, and no matter what life hands you, you need to realize that God is with you and God will help see you through. You have a blessed day and live for the Lord.